Okay, Baruch Hashem, another 5 minutes of Bitachon and B'siyata D'Shemaya. In perfect timing for Rosh Hashanah, we are concluding this incredible Maimer HaBitachon of the Bais Halevi today, B'siyata D'Shemaya. We'll be starting a new sefer, a new subject maybe, I'm not sure exactly, after the Yamim Tovim. But for today, we're in the middle of this 25th chapter. And we already learned in this 25th chapter that the Bais Halevi has taught us that you have a choice. There are certain levels of disturbances, of bothers, of ols, of yokes that you have to have in your day, in your life. And you have a choice how to do it. He quoted the Mishnah in Avos, Kol Mekabel of Ol Taira, whoever accepts upon himself the yoke of Taira, Ma'avirin Mimenu, we remove from him, Ol Malchus V'derech Eretz. We remove from him the yoke of the kingdom and derech eretz. And we explained what this means is, says the Bais Halevi, you're going to have a certain level of disturbances, a certain amount of bothers. You could choose how to use them. And at the bottom of here of David Satan quotes the Chavetz Chaim that says, listen carefully to the words in the Mishnah. The words are Mikabel Ol, the yoke of Torah. It doesn't say whoever learns the Torah, meaning, let's explain. One might think that, you know what this Mishnah teaches us? Wow, this is beautiful. If I learn Torah, if I utilize my time productively, then Hashem will remove other issues from me. This sounds great. Who wants to have issues? Who wants to have disturbances? He continues over here and he says, you want to have problems with Parnasa? You want to have issues at the office? You want to have people bothering you? Of course not. So have bothers, have issues, have disturbances in other areas. Wonderful. But says the Chavetz Chaim, it has to be an ol. It has to be a yoke. What's a yoke? Says the Chavetz Chaim, a yoke is that the animal is burdened under it, number one. Number two, says the Chavetz Chaim, a yoke, an animal, is singularly focused on its job. If we have those two ingredients, then Hashem will remove all other issues from us. So the choice is really ours. And the Bais Halevi ends his incredible sefer with this lesson that we could have a choice. We could work on bitachon. We could work on our focus, on realizing Hashem gives us everything. We could work on realizing that there's going to be certain levels of disturbances that we have to have. That's the way the world is. Quoting the pasuk that we began in Eov, Adam la'amol yulad. We're put in this world to work hard. So you got to work. Now the choice is yours. How are you going to work? But we have to remember that the work hard that we're doing has to be in a mannerism of a yoke, has to be in a way of a focus, which means whether it's a shiur, whether it's a chesed, whether it's a tefillah, whatever form of avodas Hashem that we want to be, a kabbalas ol. We want it to be in the form of a yoke, of a focus. Doesn't mean it has to take up our whole day. Of course, people have other things they need to do. One has to make parnasa. One has other obligations. But whenever we do in these areas, if we do it in the form of a kabbalas ol, says the Chavetz Chaim, which means let's envision that animal plowing under the plowshares. Number one, it's heavy. It's hard. Number two is he's focused. He's not going to all of a sudden say, oh, wait, let me go run over here. Let me go do this. No, he has a job right now. He's plowing the field. So if we find times in our day to say, you know what? This tefillah, this Torah, this chesed is going to be in the mannerism of a kabbalas ol. It's going to be in the way of accepting it as real, as nothing else will bother me. Then, says the Bais Halevi, the Mishnah is teaching us, says Hashem, I'm going to remove other disturbances. And of course, such a fitting way to end this sefer, because really what we get out of bitachon is the removal of disturbances, is the realization that Hashem creates everything, so there's no reason to be bothered. And the more we work on it, the more we realize that we're able to live a calmer life, a more tranquil life, a more accepting life, realizing that Hashem is the one controlling all. So b'siyata d'shmaya, the schos of learning the Maimer Bitachon of the Bais Halevi, Shemir Hashem, Eider Bitachon. Of course, we all have to do Chazara in our own times, Emir Hashem, as reading through, learning through at once, it certainly doesn't suffice. There's so much in this Sefer. And hopefully, B'siyata Deshmaya, we'll be able to work on our bitachon, able to remove other disturbances from our life. And Amir Hashem will announce what sefer we're going to be learning after the Yom Tovim, B'siyata.